Welcome everybody to That's Ridiculous. My name is Brinky, and this is DK next to me, and we're gonna tell you all about books. But before we start, you know, you go to the Patreon down in the description. It's great. You get lots of stuff, Discord, posters, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I can sell you merch at orchidate.com with a brand new shirt and hoodie that just came out very recently. Just a little ridiculous. Buy it now. Buy it all. Buy it now. Buy
Hell
it.
yeah.
Do it. Buy it. Buy it.
all of it.
Buy all of it. You get rid of your skin. Pull your skin off. Get rid of your skin. Skin.
No, leave your skin where it is. I don't.
And don't forget to read. Lol, just kidding. This is the book club. Here we are.
Hooray! Wow, what an intro. Well
I felt like
Really?
it should be short and concise, just like the book.
Top notch. Top notch. Yes, the book, Day of Ascension.
Yes, Day of Ascension, the story of the Gene Stealer cult's uprising against the Admech, and not a space marine in sight.
No space marines. Nope, just those wacky mutated humans and those crazy robotic red-robed weirdos.
It was very nice to have a beautifully 5.5 hour long read. It was very short, but
It was, yeah.
but very well done. Written by something Offski. I remember the Offski part of the name. I forgot. It was Adrian Tchaikovsky. Oh dear, Tchaikovsky.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is DK. Do share. What are your thoughts on the Day of Ascension?
I mean, I wasn't blown away by it. Like, it didn't have me like hooked and all that, but it was fine. I enjoyed it. You know, there were some nice little twists and turns, but you know, it was fine. It was fine. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite book ever. It's all right.
Interesting. We are going to disagree on this one.
Oh, okay.
I loved it.
Loved it. Okay.
I loved it. I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. It was
Okay.
sweet and concise and didn't overstay its welcome, and it hit
True.
all the right story beats. And you ever wanted to just read a Holocaust book, because that's basically what this was in the beginning.
Yeah, it was a rough start. Rough start for the people living on Morod?
Yeah, I always thought they said moron, and I was like, but no.
Mordor.
The Mordor. One does not simply get Tyranids to eat you at Mordor.
One does not simply barrel roll.
The no, I really liked it. I will admit they do go very hard with the Nazis rooting out the Jews kind of thing in the beginning of the book.
Yeah, they really. I mean, if you're an Admech fan, they are not painted in the nicest light here. It's not good. It's very not good.
No, they are quite fucking evil.
Oh yeah.
And in a pretty normal Admech way. You know, we always talk about Admech just being awful people who don't care about human life, and well, that was about it, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, what is it? Triskellian is constantly being mocked for being in the soft sciences and trying to figure out how to make their flesh better, which is like, oh my god, for an Admech, that has got to be like, how could you even propose that, you know, you should strengthen the flesh? Like, it's crazy.
I thoroughly enjoy the like mirror that you get between the main girl starts with a D. I forget.
Davian.
Davian, thank you. Davian and Triskellian basically mirroring each other when it comes to the overall plot they're in. Like, Davian is the lower one who really wants to rise up because things are going bad, but her elder is like, no, wait. And then you get Triskellian, who really wants his sciences to be utilized or important. And then you get I'm bad with the Admech names. Sort of B.
Oh, Burzulum.
Burzulum. Burzulum just being like, oh, I don't want that. I'm a big fat fucker. I'm extremely overweight and Admech. Oh. They said he was shaped like a bell.
Yep.
And he had no waist, so he couldn't bend over, so he just lean like a giant leaning bell.
Yeah, because what was it? Triskellian grabbed his coat, and he just, and that's why he didn't get assassinated in the beginning, because can't.
Yep, pretty great opening. He grabs him, yanks him down, and then the assassin, the Kellermorph, named I was actually really bad with these names. I feel so bad. Sakiri, an absolute baller of a character.
Oh hell yeah.
Sakiri just straight up like misses the shot and blows off Triskellian's arm. Because of that, and that's where our events really go into motion. And it's the book takes place over really just like a couple days. Yep. Wow. Okay, what'd you think of Triskellian as a character?
I was so conflicted with Triskellian because, like, he is a scummy admech, but at the same time, like, nobody really respects him, even though he's trying to, like, you know, rise them up, and you know, he's kind of sort of trying to do the right thing. But then again, he's also a giant piece of shit.
Like, I really liked him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
In like the same way you like the character of Ray Fiennes and like Schindler's List, where he's awful, but he's just played by Ray Fiennes, and he's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, I was like, man, I can't believe I'm feeling sorry for this guy, because all he wants to do is like do genuine Nazi experiments and like break fleshy things to see how far they can be broken. And like dissect them all, and he's just, it's like when I almost called him Bulbous.
That's a good name for him. He's a Bulbasaur.
Yeah,
big Bulbasaur.
When the fabricator general didn't send any of his research to Mars, I was like, fuck, man, I feel really bad for you now.
None of my research made it to Mars. What? Yeah.
And he had the great assistant who was always like, yes, indubitably, sir. He just would agree with him every time he said anything.
Oh, yeah, the yes man. Was it Aloysia or something?
Yeah, and her giant Castellan robot.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah, it sucked feeling for Triskellian, because he's just so... he shouldn't be a sympathetic character, but it's like, oh, I was supposed to be Fabricator General. I kind of got screwed out of that, and now everybody thinks I'm a joke, and now I'm a master of the parade or the festival, and it's like, but yeah, he's such a scumbag, though.
Oh, God, yeah. I want to use that if I ever make an AdMech army. What was his name? Like Chief Festivier or something like that?
Yeah, Chief Festiviator.
Yeah, yes. I wanna just make a fucking tech priest and just put a party hat on him. And make him
the Chief Festiviator.
Chief Festiviator.
Chief Festiviator. Well done. Ha 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 ha.
God, it was so funny. But yeah, but with the except, like, you do get a lot of World War II Holocaust level stuff here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That is the basis for the book, no doubt. But you know, I'm glad they didn't shy away from the obvious Tyrannid problem.
Yeah.
I was wondering if throughout the entire book they might just pretend like the Tyrannid thing doesn't exist. They rise up, they win, and then the book ends with, and then the skies got dark. Yeah. And I thought the book would just end like that, but no, it actually has a happy ending, I guess you could say.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's about as happy an ending as Davian can get.
Kind of, yeah. She lives.
Yep.
She gets to go out and spread her seeds, so to speak.
She gets to touch other worlds, and they watch as the Tyrannids just start mauling the planet, and they're just like, oh, look at how, I can't believe I'm missing this. Oh, the angels, how could I miss this? And it's like, girl, I don't think you realize what you're missing.
Though I think she does, though. Isn't that kind of part of it at the end, where they're very much like, yeah, angels are monsters, what's the difference?
I thought at the end she was like still kind of you know, like she still thought they, oh yeah, they look just like I thought they'd look. Oh yeah, they're angels. Oh, maybe I misread it. I don't know.
I know she. Well, no, I think she said they did not look like how she thought they would look, but they did what she thought they would do, firing all their stuff down the planet. And it's like, oh, the angels would come like this, and she expected that, but she didn't expect them to be giant winged maws of teeth.
Right. Yeah, I might have just misread that.
So, out of curiosity, why weren't you as big on the book as I was? Because I fucking love this one.
I don't know. It just didn't quite do it from, like, it seemed. I don't know if it was just because it seemed like the Gene Stealer cult seemed very. I don't know if I want to say expected. Like, how they acted was very, like, it's how you expect Gene Stealers to act, and it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't resonate with me that well. I don't know if that makes any sense, but.
No. I mean, sometimes when you read a book or any piece of media, it just might not hit the same as other things do.
It seemed very, like, by the numbers. Like, oh yeah, this is, you know. Although I did feel very sorry for the Gene Stealer cults. Like, even though they've been, you know, tainted, it's kind of hard not to feel for them and be like, oh yeah, this is why people praise the many-handed emperor, because look at the Admech and look at how horrible they are. And I mean, when you're the Imperium, it's like you're not. You know, when your choices are Admech or, you know, Gene Stealer, it's not hard to see why people will follow the Gene Stealer cults.
Yeah, I think that was because I remember when we were talking about all of the Gene Stealer cults in our episodes, there was the underlying feeling of pretty grimdarkness about they get thrown into the soup and their mind gets severed.
Yeah.
But like. I have a bit of a hard... Okay, so I'm having a bit of a lore impasse here. Because this is a plan generations in the making, as they always say, right?
Yes.
Which means that a lot of the people who jump into the soup are not like... They're not the ones who really betrayed their people. They're kids upon kids upon kids.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if that would be a thing that they're very like. What would they really forget?
That's true. Because they wouldn't even have been the ones that like seeded the planet or been there for like the initial seeding or betraying or anything like that. So,
I originally was saying that, you know, at the end of the day, the Tyranids are an evil because they are a gigantic hive mind that consumes all.
Yeah.
But
they're just looking for their next meal.
But I must say. I think I'd pick the Gene Stealer cults over the Admech. If anything, just for those 4 weeks of festival they had after they roused up and won. Those 4 weeks of no more backbreaking labor. Because the familial ties between them all, between their aunts and uncles and brothers and sons, was so strong.
Oh, yeah.
It's... I don't know.
If you're on Morod, like... I too would pick the Gene Stealer cult. No way I would go Admech. Like, Admech is just like enslavement.
It's the worst kind of enslavement.
It is the worst kind of enslavement. Like it is the worst. So yeah, I'd be hard pressed to find someone to be like, oh yeah, I totally go Admech. Oh, I sympathize with the Admech, and yeah.
Like within the first like 30 minutes of the book, they're going around taking people for like the Skitarii legions. This lady's like, no, please don't take him. He's my only son. And it's like records show that you have birthed 3 children. Like, no, the other 2 died. They died in the mines or something. And Skitarii's like, you did not fill out the proper death forms.
Yep, so taking your last kid too.
Yeah, so next time, get your paperwork in order, Steele's final child.
Yeah, oh my
like,
God,
bruh.
that was awful. Bruh. Oh my God, yeah. Admech are bad.
Shai had a quick thing. She said, the whole disconnect from mind thrown into soup is not universal, doesn't happen all the time. Nids often allow many of the cultists to live so they can spread the cult. Every time I bring that up, Gene Stealer cult fans scream about that in the comments. Well,
really?
That actually, in a sense, is what happens at the end of this book. Damien and a few other people. What was the name of that big Skitarii, the alpha that they had?
Oh, Tangram?
Yeah, wow. Dude, I read this literally yesterday, and And
Yeah, I read it like 2 weeks ago.
And you're getting all these names. Wow. Yeah, Ten Tangram, the Scutari Alpha was yeah, the two of them go like seed other worlds and stuff.
Yep, that was the big reveal at the end, right? Was that yeah, this they've been seeding this planet for a lot longer than Triskellian thought.
Yeah, because they kept taking all of their, because it's been like what, 5, 6, 7 generations, and so when they keep stealing all of the kids that have the Gene Stealer cult infection in them. Yeah. Someone made a funny point. They said, Admech in books are written 2 ways: funny, weak nerd, and God. And I found that in Brutal Cunning, we had God.
Oh yeah, definitely we had God.
And in this book, we had weak nerd.
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess they were weak nerd. That's true.
For the tech priests, at least.
For the tech priests, yeah, that's fair. That's
like...
fair.
Because I remember in Brutal Cunning, they had that big fight at the end with like the major fabricators, and he just pulled out like 17 like guns and torches out of his body when they started fighting. It was really fun, but this one, no, it was like Triskelion was running away from a single pistol.
Yeah, it was.
Then and then you had I want to call her Cyrene. Cyrene is the
from
she's first heretic.
Yep, no eyes.
What the hell's her name again? The assassin?
Sakiri.
Sakiri. Okay, that's a fair issue there.
That is. Those are very similar names. I can see you getting those mixed up.
Yeah, Shine makes an interesting point. In Brutal Cunning and Admech were strong, but they were underestimating the orcs, which was dumb. Whereas in this book, Triskelion underestimated the Gene Stealer cults, but not a lot.
Like he underestimated just how much the mutation had taken from like the Admech, or that it had even infiltrated the Admech. He was just like, oh yeah, these mutants, I can use them to start an uprising and start a coup and take over, and everything will be fine. He didn't quite plan for the fact that nope, these Gene Stealers have been here and been seeding a long time. Like they're in your robots.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing, is that he did win. His plan worked. Yep. The only thing that wouldn't have worked, or the only thing that stopped him, was the fact that the Stealer cult was fucking around with their Scutari. Which means he certainly had a good idea, and his idea mostly worked out. Even though Davian released them and did all these other things, even with all of that and the outward problems that occurred, it worked. He had his plan come to fruition. Just the Scutari were screwed up.
One minor detail. Yep.
Did you like when Davian met the aunts and uncles? I thought that was fucking dope.
Yes. I mean, naturally, you're gonna be in awe of these great aunts and uncles. And was it Clarissa that didn't want her to start any trouble and didn't want her to try and go rescue Sakiri and didn't want her to do any shenanigans and to wait for the promised time or something like that?
I don't, again, the names. Clarissa sounds close. I always thought of her as Clarice from Silence of the Lambs. I don't really know why. I don't know why I thought that, but that's just where my mind went. Yeah, she was the old, like, Willy Wonka or Charlie's grandpa, bedridden, and then stands up immediately when he gets to go to the chocolate factory.
Yippee! Yep.
That was yeah, that was her. It's like, no, don't, because she was their magus, I believe.
Oh yeah. She was like the head honcho.
The psyker leader, yeah. Which also makes sense for a tidbit that I didn't actually think about. She asked to release Sakiri, and the Magos was like, why did I say yes to that? And I think it's because she was a psyker and probably fucked with him a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Because Magos are psychers.
That's fair. Yeah.
It could certainly work out that way. I don't. Maybe. It's a very short book, but it keeps you. I think it keeps a very solid level of like good tension, good curiosity almost the entire way through.
Yeah.
There's really not a dull moment.
I think, I don't know if it was just me, but like the only big twist was like the end part where all of the Skitarii turn. I wasn't expecting that, but I don't know, everything up until that point, it seemed to progress like how I thought it would. You know, like I kind of thought everything was going to kind of go according to plan. Burslam was probably going to get killed. And the only thing that I was really like unsure of was what Triskellian was going to do to Davian and everything afterwards. Like if he was actually going to like just kill all of them and betray them, or if they were going to, you know.
No, that's a good point. It did basically go the path I thought it would because I've seen enough World War II movies to know about how this is going to go. In fact, I think that's the reason why I found Triskellian's plot more interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because I wanted to know, what is he doing with the Fabricator General? What is his plan? What is his coup ability? Like,
yeah. Because
he's
obviously very capable. Like, he's a capable dude. He was supposed to be Fabricator General, but I did want to see him kill Burslam, though. Burslam is just oof.
Burslam was a comically huge piece of shit.
Oh yes,
he was comic. Like he was a stereotype. How ridiculous he was.
How Adeptus ridiculous he was.
What
about it?
No, he was, and then you have his little underling who's always just agreeing with him. It's very comical.
Yep, it is very on the nose, comical tyrant. Just a comical stereotype of the tyrant. Yeah.
Which, I mean, it certainly worked out the way it was supposed to go. It was interesting that the main character for the Admech was the one who cared more about flesh.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think in Admech there wouldn't be too many people that were into the soft sciences.
The soft sciences.
Soft sciences.
I do enjoy the VA quite a bit for this one.
Oh yeah, the VA did amazing. Absolutely. Yes.
I liked him a lot, mainly also because I'm I love me some Jonathan Keeble. Jonathan Keeble, I love you, man. You do a great job, but you narrate every goddamn 40K book. Every single one.
All of them.
I think I've read 5 or 6 books with his VA, and it's very good, but I'm like, there's patterns that occur, and so I was very happy to listen to a different VA who did a very, very good job still with how he did it.
Yeah, he did a really good job on Burslam.
Oh, Triskellian, you young man. You do not know about the fucking metal, you bitch.
We into the soft sciences. I'm Burslam.
He's so fucking... he's so great. I need to... What is his name? I need to at least... say like
the voice actor.
Yeah.
Find his name and give him his due.
That is called Well of Ascension. That is not the one. Harry Myers.
Harry Myers
has done quite a few 40K books.
Hell yeah, dude.
As of recently, he's done a whole lot of non-40K books, and then he did Urdesh, the Serpent and the Saint, Urdesh, the Magister and the Martyr, Gloomspite, the Wraithbone Phoenix, and the what's this? The Vorbis Conspiracy.
The Vorbis Conspiracy. Ooh.
Oh, is this an audio drama? Sorry. We'll get to this later. But yeah, I guess there's a lot less to talk about with Day of Ascension because it is very expected. You're right. There isn't a whole lot of twists or turns. It's a... I wouldn't call it a safe book, but it is a very constantly retold story that is just given a gloss of Genestealer Cult and Admech paint.
Admech, yeah. That's probably what it was. It's like you've heard this story before. The ending is nice though. I like the sort of twist they pull on the ending, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it could have been a little bit less exposition there.
Definitely.
Because the doctor just like said the whole thing, and I'm
it was just the doctor explaining the whole damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have gone with you've been taking our kids for generations. and you say we're Xenos infected, ... That would have been enough. I've been like, all right, I get it.
I get it. The AdMech returning. He gave the little clue right there. Got it.
But he gave us like 2 paragraphs of exposition.
Exposition on how, hey, here's exactly how it happened, and I mean, I do like the irony of the Day of Ascension being turned on the AdMech from their little holiday to it's the day that we ascend, and
the title of the book is excellent. It's a 3-way thing actually. It's the AdMech's Day of Ascension, it is the Genestealer cult's uprising, and it's Triskellian's ascension to Fabricator General.
Ah, that is true.
His Day of Ascension. Yeah.
He has that title for all of 5 minutes. He gets it for a cup of coffee, and then... Bye-bye. Yeah,
the soft sciences, naturally. Okay, so I there was one thing I was kind of curious about here. Okay. And this is certainly a conspiracy theory that I have, but okay, so we remember. Oh no, it would have taken too long for this to come out. Never mind. So did you at all notice how much Day of Ascension was like Arcane? So you have Vi, who's Davian, and then you've got Vander, who's her adult, telling her, no, it's not time yet, it's not time yet to rise up or do anything. And then you've got all the higher ups that are like the council, which is Bulbous and shit, and then the AdMech guy who always wants his stuff done, which would be Jace. And they even have a progress day thing for Piltover.
That's true,
instead
the day of progression.
Yeah, Day of Ascension. And I'm like, when I was reading it, I was like, we all know that Riot Games director Mr. Tryndamere loves Warhammer, and he got Graham McNeil, the writer of Warhammer books, to work on Arcane. And I'm like, I've got that picture of fucking Pepe Sylvia, goddamn Charlie Day right there. That whole thing, it was really close. But they released like 2 months apart, and that's when I was like, oh, never mind.
Might just be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Because again, that's a fairly popular outline for stories, right? So there are other mediums that you could sort of put that template over in and get the same sort of coincidental overview of. So.
Yeah, that's when I looked at it. I was like, released January 29th, 2022, and then Arcane was November of last year. And I'm like, oh, damn. I realized that. But goddamn, was it close sounding.
The similarities are there, though, so,
They absolutely are. Though, I didn't actually realize Day of Ascension released this year.
Wow.
Almost into,
either.
End of January. Like, yeah, it's closer than I thought.
Yeah.
There's not a lot extra to talk about it. Overall, it's very good. I like
it's solid. Not my favorite, but it's a fine book. Well written, good story, but kind of expected until the end.
Yeah, I guess I think I like it a lot because it's one of those books that can be read by. This is actually a thing I would give to anyone who even is not doing 40K. Like. This is good. All you gotta do is tell like AdMech like machines and these are bugs, and you pretty much can just let them go with the story, because you don't really need a whole lot of earlier 40K understanding to get this book.
Yeah, you give them a brief overview of what the NIDS or what the Genestealer cult is and what the AdMech are, and that's kind of all you really need.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I actually would give it a very high rating. I give it like an 8.5.
Oh. I give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, a real 6 out of 10.
A real 6 out of 10. It's a fair book. It's slightly above average for me. Nothing out of this world, but I would still recommend to pick it up and read it because it's a well done book. But it's not it didn't blow my socks off.
That's totally fine. 6 out of 10 is above average, and if we're going with above average, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. I think it's excellent. I highly recommend it to any Tyranid player, and I think it would definitely make some Genestealer cult fans out of it.
Oh, definitely. Because you have to sympathize with the Genestealer cult in this book. Like, there's just their plight is just so difficult, and it becomes like one of those books where it's like, oh yeah, I totally understand why someone would betray the empire or the ruling faction in lieu of the many-handed emperor that they don't know any better about, other than, oh, we're all just trying to be better and we're all just trying to get the angels to come for us, you know? Yep.
All right, excellent book. I would say go read it. Go check out Day of Ascension personally, and yeah, very very good choice. I'm very happy we chose it. Shy says she demands to pick a new book this time, despite not really having a right to because she doesn't read any of them. So I will. You will be humored. You shall be humored, little Shy.
Bloodlines. What is that? A Gustiel Vidarov novel by Chris Wright?
I suggest Bloodlines by Chris Wright or Rate. It's a Warhammer crime novel, no Space Marines, no Imperial Guard, just a detective noir story and a look about what it's like to live in a giant hive city full of crime and corruption from the point of view of an average humie. We've done lots of Space Marine episodes. It'll be a nice break from that. Also, Luton said it's really good. Plus, the Vorbis conspiracy you mentioned earlier is part of this series. I will fucking read it.
Wow.
You know what?
Said she's gonna read it. That must be a hell of a book, then. All right.
It's also got a great cover too. Wow.
Yeah, it does. It has a really good cover.
All right. I am so down for that. I was actually gonna recommend Eisenhorn for the next one, because it's also a detective kind of thing, but it's more inquisitorial. So I am down for I am down for it.
Hell yeah.
Interesting. Interesting one. Bloodlines. Did you say it's part of the Vorbis conspiracy in the sense of like it's a it's like a prequel or something, or is it like, or is the Vorbis conspiracy like an anthology series? That'd be kind of neat. Anthology Warhammer crime.
That'd be cool.
That would be very neato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our next book, Bloodlines, apparently.
Apparently.
Cool.
Interesting.
Cool. Let's go.
I genuinely expected some orc shit. I
did
really
too.
did. Okay.
I expected orc shit too, and she demanded to pick the new book. I was like, oh, it's got to be orc shit, right?
Demanded.
I was like, man, this is the new orc book came out that I don't know about.
All right. Oh yeah, sorry. The War Boss book isn't out on Audible yet. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, short and sweet, just like the book itself. To all of our viewers, thank you so much for watching and listening. Go ahead and get started on Bloodlines whenever you get the opportunity to. That'll be our next major project, and we will see you next week for, I believe, the Dornian Heresy episode.
Ooh, that's right. We do still have to do that, don't we? Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace out, man dog.
Bye and stuff.